Hello and welcome to Scarlet Serpent Readings. Thank you so much for joining me again for another Timeless Pick a Card reading. This Timeless Pick a Card reading is all about what you need to know. This is a message from your higher self. And so I have 3 piles prepared for you. It's kind of like a pick a crystal in this case. Pile 1 is going to be this clear quartz. This clear quartz for you. Pile 2 is going to be this kyanite. And pile 3 is going to be this lapis lazuli. Trying to get it to focus, but you know. Anyway, let me show you the sphere, pyramid, maybe this will help. It is lapis lazuli as well. Okay. Sorry about that, but it's lapis lazuli, blue stone right here. Maybe it'll focus later. At any rate, that's the third option. So yeah, take a moment to tune into yourself and choose a pile intuitively. If you need more time, you can always pause the video, and I'll meet you at your pile. Hi, pile 1. If you chose the clear quartz, this reading is for you. So I have 2 cards already drawn out for you. I haven't looked at them yet. The first card is an oracle, just indicating like what's the general theme, just the general guidance. And then I have a card kind of clarifying that. It's a tarot card, and then after that I'll draw some additional tarot to get the gist of the message. Just keep in mind, this is a general reading for a collective, so if you want something more personal, I do offer personal readings. The information for that is at the description box below. So let's look at this first oracle message. And we have, as above, so below, heaven and earth, 41. That's your main theme for this reading. For me, it feels like just recognizing how what's inside of you is being reflected outside, and so any stagnant energy that you're noticing in the external world regarding financial situation, home environment, work, so I'm getting mostly, is a reflection of what's happening inside of you. Just stagnant energy, really, and it feels as though your higher self is coming from obviously a higher perspective, where they can see how both of these energies are interacting and manifesting themselves in both dimensions, if you will. So that's the main card. Let's just see. Clarifying / action steps to take. We have judgment. So this could have something to do with like your life purpose, I would say. It's funny, I usually call upon various archangels or deities or guides with each reading, and Archangel Gabriel was one of them, and this is their card. So I do find that interesting and relevant. Could be something you work with, or a being you work with. We also notice it feels kind of like the tree, doesn't it? It feels like the tree, where there's this mirroring image. There's a mirroring image of up and down. Up and down. So that sort of reflection, recognizing the polarity within yourself, and how, as you recognize all elements of who you are, you'll be able to more fully step into your life purpose. Life purpose is coming in strongly for this pile for some reason. That might be part of what you're trying to find out or step into, is what is my life's purpose? Am I on the right path? Because I feel as though it's a bit stagnant and not satisfying, especially in regards to career again. And it's like the thing that you want wants you back. Like what you really want to accomplish, there's this thing that you're daydreaming about, and you're being asked to step into it more and kind of recognize its presence within your energy field, if that makes sense. Recognize when you think about it, how you feel when you think about it, this thing you're thinking about doing, this lifestyle you want to lead, and it's like the internal growth is being mirrored externally. Yeah, even with the Judgment card, the two X's, there's just a sense of duality that I'm getting here. The dualistic nature of who you are, and the fact that what you want to accomplish is something that your soul, that the world needs, actually. It's above, so below. Heaven and earth. It's like your higher self wants you to know that it is possible to bring that idea into the physical world as well. But it does take an alignment of all aspects of yourself. And so, so stepping into that is how that can manifest itself. In other words, grounding, being present within your body, grounding to the earth, and then taking the time to recognize the high perspective. And this is in regards to whatever it is that you want to manifest. Again, most of this feels like life purpose sort of energy. What impact you want to leave upon the world. And it is something of beauty. Respect for the earth, I'm feeling. So we have quite a few cards, more than I wanted. Oh well. So let's see. Okay. I'm just saying which cards have the strongest energy, and it's the middle two, so I'm going to flip them first. I knew it. I should have just picked it up. The Two of Swords came out multiple times when I was shuffling, and it kind of flipped over. I don't know if you noticed that I kind of juggled the cards a second, and I put it back, and I was personally neglecting it. I was like, I don't want to look at this right now. The Two of Swords regarding decision, choice that you have to make. And we're noticing this dualistic nature, again with as above, so below. There's two. Two is coming up a lot here. Two is coming up a lot, and it's like you know what you want, but you're a little hesitant to take action towards it because of fear, and it's more of a fear that it's not actually attainable, that you can't actually make a living off of this. It's a fear that other people are going to resent you for it, even though you have the energy to accomplish this. You have the potential to accomplish this. The card that was right in front of it is the Fool. So what I'm noticing here is that we have these two energies, right? The Two of Swords, which feels like the energy that you're in, and then in front of it is the energy that you should be in, which is the Fool. Just kind of going, trusting the support of the universe, that it's got your back. I apologize for the lighting. It's daytime. It was just the best time for me to do this reading today. I was trying to keep it short as well. But stepping into that energy of just getting into the unknown, we have the Hummingbird, allowing opportunity to come in there. We have the Two of Cups in front of the Fool and the Chariot. So again, with the Two of Cups, more twos, Chariot indicating a sense of movement, but the movement for this Chariot card feels slow. I don't know if you noticed the shell. There's a man, or I should say figure, I don't know. This is a gender neutral deck. I don't know if you can see that, so let's try this again. Stepping out of the shell, so that could be where this Two of Wands is kind of bringing this hesitancy within you of stepping out, and that's what the Judgment is too. And that's what I'm getting as well with the as above, so below. There's this wanting, this desire within you to blossom, and your higher self is saying, do it, because the universe needs this, the world needs this from you. There's a lot to be gained. I feel as though you'll attract partnerships and people who agree with you, despite, the outside world seeming as though it's kind of against, what you're going is against the grain, against the norm, but it is something that you'll be supported in more ways than not. It's like your mind is halting a natural movement towards what your life purpose is. And it's in the back of your mind constantly. Let's see what the final two cards are. You have the Six of Swords. So I do feel as though, and that's something your higher self is saying, is that I don't want to say you have done this already, like a past, future way, I don't know. But you definitely have the potential to step beyond the mental barriers that you're setting for yourself, and shifting perspective as well, and realizing that, with the Judgment card, that you have the support to go for what you want, and that's what really the Six of Swords is telling me here. It's kind of like you're being receptive towards what the universe is offering to you. And that's the energy that's going to allow the momentum to move forward. Yeah, with the Chariot, the Fool, and I would say with the Two of Cups, kind of being the universe supporting you. That's what I'm getting with this. This could definitely, this is a collective reading, of course, be like financial support, emotional support mostly, equal give and take, but I feel as though in this circumstance, the equal give and take has to do with the energy you put towards accomplishing what you really, really want at a deep level, and that putting the energy towards it is going to come back and manifest itself in your happiness, your financial freedom, and etc. And then we have the Page of Swords. This card's been following me everywhere. I think it's interesting that these last three cards are Swords cards. And so a big part of what I'm getting from your higher self is that you're going to be recognizing the influence your mind has upon what you want to do, and that it isn't the only factor involved. When you start feeling the emotions, when you start seeing the signs, and you don't necessarily have to analyze them in a way that's limiting, but it's taking ownership of the thoughts that you have, and that's gonna, I'm noticing that sort of movement between the Two of Swords, which is the Moon in Libra, and then we have the Seven, which is Mercury, so it's kind of like expressing it differently. You actually, there's a sense of movement going on, and then that goes to the Page of Swords, which it's kind of like true ownership. So it's coming from defensive to opening your defenses up, and then kind of recognizing the power you had the entire time, but using that power to adjust the mind so that it aligns with what, again, that sense of alignment with what like your intuition is telling you want to do, what your heart's telling you, what your emotions are telling you that you really want to do, that you really want to pursue. And so this is the mental block, and really the lesson that you're getting from this. You're stepping into this energy of Page of Swords. We have that illumination, the sun's there, That same sun from the Page of Swords is what's going to get that chariot moving as well. So I feel as though, like, you have what it takes in a material level to do what you want, but the mind isn't supportive. So there's usually those two horses. One horse doesn't want to move, and you're trying to get that other horse to move. Okay. So I wanted to keep this reading short. That's all I have for you today. Hopefully this reading resonated. If it did, let me know. I hope to see you in the next video, and thanks for watching. Take care. Hi Pile 2, if you chose the blue kyanite stone, crystal stone. I'm being a little silly. This is your reading. I have 2 cards already picked out for you, haven't looked at them. Just keep in mind this is a general reading, so if you want something a little more personal, I do offer personal readings. That information is at the bottom in the description box below, so you can check that out if you're interested. So I have an oracle card picked out for you, and then a tarot card kind of describing, clarifying that oracle, and the oracle being what's the general message, what's the overall theme for what your higher self is trying to convey to you at this time. And that's action. Number 9, movement needed. This figure is running on the beach. It's kind of like you want freedom, and you need a, I don't like saying you, you're being urged to move towards freedom. Your freedom of expression, that movement, it's like that that clarity that comes with being outside. I was looking outside, I was like, I want to be at the beach right now. But it's saying that movement's needed, and that movement is coming from you. It's only you, because that's with the 9 as well. So taking responsibility of what needs to be done at a physical level to accomplish that sense of freedom that you're after. Then we have the 10 of Cups, which is the clarification. To get this, you're being asked to move, and I feel as though movement within itself brings joy. And that's something that your higher self is kind of bringing home. That point is that it's like your joy is what brings freedom. Let's clarify, let's get the main message, the overall, maybe details regarding this, these 2 cards. With 9 and 10, it's like 9 is the stepping stone to get to 10. 9 is the movement, the action that needs to be taken. You might want to do solar plexus work if you're feeling hesitant. You might also want to connect with your body with physical exercise, as that, in an indirect way, can lead to happiness and that sense of freedom. The last card I got flipped up, so I feel it's, significant, with the 2 of Wands, which is Mars and Aries, and there's kind of this choice that needs to be made. It's fairly clear which way you want to go regarding this. There's an energy that's binding and one that's moving, so when it comes with the action needed, the choice is fairly clear, the one that makes you move and doesn't make you feel stuck. There is this sense of, a false sense of stability and safety that you might have felt bound to in some way, and that's kind of what your higher self is saying to step away from. That it might feel comfortable, but you're not going to grow, and you're not going to get to that 10 of Cups by staying safe. Let's look at the other cards. We have the Empress. This is a very pretty Empress card. 3, and then I have the Hanged one. So there's 2 major arcanas already. I'm gonna just look at the next card, I'm already doing it. And Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is right under the 10 of Cups. And so, again, there's this feeling of needing to get that cup, dig deep into the emotional realm and see and get what you want out of life, which feels like freedom. Like there's water in the action card as well. I'm getting this sense of nurturing yourself, that's a priority, and that's one of the main points being driven to, yeah, seriously, drive home? I forget the phrase. But anyway, and we'll notice that there's this yin and yang between the Hanged One and the Empress, that there's the light here, the light down here, and the light here. It just feels as though you've already done your inner work, that you've done your meditation, you've gained that perspective, and now that you're aware of the creation that you want to manifest into the world in whatever form it is. It could be a literal child, it could be this project that you've been thinking about, or just it could just be the raw energy of creation, and you've manifested it through meditation, through focusing on yourself. You're in a position where you're more aware of your emotions, you're more aware of what makes you sparkle, what opens your heart center up, and now's the time to actually go towards it. And that's why this Queen of Cups is so important here, being that it's right by the beach, it's underneath the Ten of Cups, and she's literally diving. It's like going from the hanged position to jumping. You're jumping from that, and that's really what your higher self is saying. You have the resources to do. You have the energy to do it as well. It's like, alright, I've made something within my mind. I've contemplated, I've gained that perspective, I've looked within, looked without, and now I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna do it. And that's kind of like the unbinding. I don't know if you can see, this figure is on like a tree. And then you'll see that there is a rooted option with the Two of Wands. I don't know if you can see the roots there. My camera is not my best friend. There we go. So that second option, there's like this rooted nature, so unroot yourself. It's usually not the message I get, and it's like, be grounded and all this, but don't be grounded. You're already, I feel as though you're naturally grounded already, as it is. And it's really a time to take that leap into make the things that are most emotionally satisfying your priority. And when you feel good, you take note of it and say, I acknowledge that I feel good right now. Do I want more of this? How can I get more of this into my life? And yeah, move towards it, because that's how you're going to get your freedom. If freedom is something you've been wanting, joy and being playful has been something you've been wanting, that's the way to do it, is to make that a priority. And I feel as though taking the action, digging into the emotions, digging into what brings you joy is going to assist you in carrying out that creative energy, like manifesting in the real world. That Empress is going to have its child, so to speak. And that's going to be, it's like the push comes from moving your body. I feel like you might like running, or riding bike, or doing yoga, or some sort of movement, Tai Chi, I don't know. But doing that regularly is going to actually assist you in being more creative. So that's the main message from your higher self. I'm trying to keep this one short. Hopefully you enjoyed the reading, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Hi Pile 3, and welcome to your reading if you chose the Lapis Lazuli. Please keep in mind this is a general reading. If you want something that's more personalized for you. I do offer personal readings. That information is at the description box below. So I drew 2 cards already for you. I haven't looked at them. One of them is an oracle card, just describing the general message, the broad picture, big picture. I have a card clarifying that. It's a tarot card, and then I'll draw some additional tarot just to clarify those messages. So let's look at this oracle card we have. 47, blessings and thanks, abundant universe. Feels like here it's more of a message of what's coming, that you've done the work already, but also to recognize the blessings that you already have, because that gratitude is, being in gratitude, it brings about more abundance, more abundance in every form. But it feels like a very celebratory card, and your higher self, it feels like, is congratulating you and saying that if you haven't felt it yet, you should recognize where you are already abundant, and through that recognition, prepare for more financial gain, more recognition, not just from people, but from the universe itself. Let's look at the tarot card. Yeah, we have the 7 of Wands, which here, usually the 7 of Wands is kind of like stand your ground, and maybe that's something you have done, but I'm not getting that from here. I feel like this feels more like a 6 of Wands, where it's celebratory. I'll show you. It's like the crowd is seeing you and is paying respect to your presence now, and I feel like that's something you've earned. Becoming a leader in a way, and that has a lot to do with the blessings that you're receiving. And it is through standing your ground, you've earned that recognition, that you've been true to yourself, and being true to yourself is what, it's like it takes courage and strength to, despite most people's opinions most people are very safe and afraid to do, or just stuck on a certain mindset, and you've never been that way, and I feel as though you're finally getting kind of confirmation that you've been on the right path the entire time, if that hasn't come through already. Maybe one more card. So nice. We have the Sun, so it's definitely confirmation, especially with the 7 of Wands. And that's what I got from the 7 of Wands, is like people see you now. People see the fullness of who you are. You're blooming, you're blossoming, and that's kind of like where your higher self is saying, if you haven't felt this yet, it's really quite close. You'll be celebrating that. Look at how abundant, excuse my dog, look at how abundant the flowers are. There's so much happening in this image. I'm gonna keep joking about the camera, who just wants to look at my bracelet instead of the card. Look at the card. There we go. Gorgeous imagery, and it mirrors the number 47, blessings and thanks and abundance. I don't know if you're into numerology at all. Number 47 is a big number for me. I'm only saying that because when I see it, I think of abundance, regardless, and I've never made the connection to this card. So if you see the number 47, it could be a confirmation of that. You have the Temperance. It is going to take time, or it's already taken time, and you've been patient with it. We're getting flowers coming through, and flowers are pretty. Flowers, but they take time to grow, and they grow in the right time. You can't make a flower blossom before it's ready to do so, and maybe it's, like it's taken a while. This is really confirmation again. I was gonna say your spirit guide, but your spirit guide as well. Your spirit guide might be around to kind of nudge you with little signs and synchronicities that you may or may not be aware of. It's like, it's coming, just give it a second. Like, the timing has to be right for this. But all of these cards so far have been positive, especially with Temperance and the Sun just coming together. It's like blossoming. That's the biggest word that's coming out. Then we have the Moon. The Moon is telling me you're not aware of it fully yet. It hasn't manifested itself yet, but it's what's happening behind the scenes. So it's like the color palette. I don't know if you can see. The color palette is red and yellow. And with the Moon, we have two moons. One is kind of, it's not a complete image, and it's dark. But on the other side of that, it's the same color palette of red and yellow. And so what I'm getting is that it exists already. This abundance exists, but it hasn't manifested itself fully yet. It's not revealing itself to you yet, because like the phases of the moon's always there, but sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't, and that there's an alignment that comes with that, and that alignment is manifesting itself into reality. See the Moon. I'm hoping this makes sense to you. And I'm going fairly quickly because I wanted this to be a shorter reading. I'm not rushing, but anyway, we have the World. 4 major arcana cards out of 5 that I've drawn. This is like you've been working towards this, and this is something that the spiritual realm, the universe, what have you, have been working with you as well, but you haven't seen it. So I feel like there's been a lot of inner work, a lot of priority shifting, and you're just like, well, come on, I'm stuck here. And it's just like, it takes time. It's like you meditate and you're not going to immediately recognize the benefits of meditation that day, but you might a little bit notice shifts, but you won't see it physically until later. There's kind of that delay, and I feel like that's what's going on. With the World, it just feels like it's been incubating this creative energy, this expression of the world opening up to you fully. Right now, it's still in that incubation. It's being ready to be expressed. And I'm kind of noticing that with the World being next to the Sun. It's like it's really close, but you're not at the Sun yet. It's just your higher self is saying that it's right around the corner. It's like in the little bubble, boop, and then the bubble pops or blossoms, as you say, and I'm very excited. You can tell my energy's much happier in this spot, just because I feel for you when I say there's been a lot of work put in, that you've put in. You've noticed a change in perspective. You've noticed how it's been beneficial, but physically, maybe in a financial way, maybe in terms of the friendships you have in a relationship, it hasn't paid off as much as you feel it should have. And your higher self is saying, you're right. But there are other factors at play that extend beyond what your cone of vision can perceive, and that's why it's taken so long. That's what the Temperance is telling me. And that could just be that you're still blossoming personally. That could also be with the World card here, saying the world isn't ready for you and your radical perspective, your gifts, and the fullness of who you are being expressed. Like, as the collective consciousness awakens more and more and shifts and the priorities change, there's not there's like a work shortage. Like no one wants to do fast food, no one wants to slave themselves for like pennies on the dollar, and as that continues to shift, and as you continue to grow, people will notice you, just because their consciousness has changed. And I feel like you're noticing that now already, that people just recognize your presence. They don't have to say anything. They might, but they might just see you, and you're seeing that they see you, and it's the way that they see you. I can't quite explain that, but it's like I could see, okay, you know when there's a raindrop, and in a pond, sorry, I should be on silent. In a pond, and then you see the water. I was gonna save that. Sorry about that. So the camera actually cut off. The battery died, and I had to recharge it. But overall, again, the reading has been incredibly positive from your higher self, and the final card that came out, I don't know where I cut off, by the way, so I apologize for that, but interesting that the 8 of Wands come up now. So just interesting coincidence, given the communication breakdown that just took place. But this feels more like a couple things, just a message from your higher self and your spiritual team, your guides, communicating this abundance that's coming, and really the light that you're starting to outshine. And I would go so far as to say that this 8 of Wands also has to do with your self-expression. So you're going to be able to, there's a strong sense of having like your throat chakra opened up and really expressing that light that you are shining. And that's kind of going to be part of what brings this abundance to you. As you gain confidence, you'll be able to express yourself more fully, and it as the card suggests, there's a sense of flow, going over obstacles with ease. There is a cloud there, which for me feels as though that's a cloud that was there for you, or has been there as far as receiving the blessings that you've put the work for, and you just haven't seen it. And as that moves away, like the moon suggests, as that shift of perspective changes, that flow, that communication, that expression of reaping the rewards is going to be a lot more clear. So hopefully, you enjoy the reading. It was a pleasure doing it. Very positive energy. Hopefully I see you again. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next reading. Take care.